this moment. My soul is ready for change. I'm alive in body, mind, and spirit. Thankful for this beautiful day. All is well, all is great, all is working for my highest good. All is well, all is great. I am saved. The universe has got my back today. I'm walking taller, feeling grounded, living in the palm of faith. I believe in a power so much higher, plugged in, I'm ready to play. All is well, all is great, all is working for my highest good. All is well, all is great, I am saved. The universe has got my back today. I'm inspired, I'm life wired. Just touch me and you'll feel the same. I'm a living, breathing love. Trust me and I'll find my way. Universe has got my back today. All is well, all is great, all is working for my highest good. All is well, all is great, I am saved. The universe has got my back today. The universe has got my back today.
am, Joe. Thank you. Thank you for joining us. This is a Facebook live stream from Centers for Spiritual Living here in Morristown, Saturday, the 27th of the year 2020. And what a year it has been. This year, the theme that we've been running at Centers for Spiritual Living has been the 2020 vision. And for the month of December is celebrating divine truth. And today's topic I'm going to be talking about in a little while after we hear some more music and some announcements. I'm going to be talking about how 2020 has really been putting constraints, some other stuff out there in the world that wouldn't necessarily normally have been there, and how do we deal with that? How do we get complete with it? How do we have it be the way that it exactly was and be just completely okay, so that when we are starting 2021, that we are starting from a foundation of perfection, wholeness, and complete with the divine right order that is the universe. So you might be wondering who I am if you are reaching us for the first time. Reverend Frankie is out on vacation. My name is Theo Tilton. I'm a licensed practitioner here at Centers for Spiritual Living in Morristown. I'm also a life mastery consultant with Brave Thinking Masters Institute. And this center, Centers for Spiritual Living, I've been coming here for almost 20 years. And it is a center of growth, expansion, teaching, and learning, all based on the principles that Ernest Holmes wrote in the Science of Mind textbook. And if you are here for the first time and you'd like to hear more information about that, you can go to our website at cslmorristown.org. That is cslmorristown.org. And if you really like what you hear today and you'd like to contribute to us creating this content every single Sunday, feel free to please donate. We would love to accept your gifts. You can go to cslmorristown.org/give. If you are on Facebook right now, you can totally interact with us. There is a chat box. You can put in some chats. Let us know where you're coming from. You know, maybe you're from California or Florida or good old New Jersey, where we are here in Morristown. You can use the like button and the little hearts and all kinds of stuff. Today's broadcast is not live on YouTube. However, it will be rebroadcast. So for those of you who are YouTube subscribers, and if you're not, make sure you go over to YouTube and subscribe to Centers for Spiritual Living Morristown. We would love to have all of your comments and feedback so that we can always improve our live stream. And with that, I'm going to give you some announcements before we turn it over and have some more beautiful music. So, we are looking for volunteers that will help host our social hour, which happens right after service. Usually happens around 11:30-ish. Today's social hour is being hosted by Fernando and Kat Roman. So if any of you would like to host a Zoom social hour after service on Sundays, just reach out to us at office@cslmorristown.org, and you can be a great volunteer to increase our connectedness in social hour. Next up is our World Healing Meditation Day. This is also going to be on Zoom December 31st at 7 a.m. Eastern Time. If you are not on our mailing list, please make sure you get on it. However, you could also go to our website and find out more information about the World Healing Meditation, which happens on December 31st at 7 a.m. Eastern. Next up, we have a new class that is starting January 13th and goes through March 17th. This is the Bible class, which is all based on metaphysics and the interpretations from Ernest Holmes. This is a fantastic class which takes all the biblical texts, all the stories that you maybe grew up with. If you grew up in a Christianic religion or some type of Abrahamic religion, And it takes these stories and then gives you the metaphysical interpretation of what actually occurred in those stories and what the true meaning of those stories is. Okay, that's it. Let's turn it back over to Kim and Joe.
Everyone's got their own perception. When we grow up, our history can play games. Perception can sometimes be deception. But if you turn something upside down, it won't look the same. You can change your story. There's nothing that went wrong. You grew from every lesson. You know it made you strong. Don't believe the lies your monkey mind's been telling you. Your life is purely made of God's glory, and that's your real life story. Time is now to take a new direction. Let go of all your self-defeating ways. Live your life with purpose and reflection. Take all your old beliefs and wash them down the drain. 'Cause you can change your story. There's nothing that went wrong. Grew from every lesson. You know it made you strong. Don't believe the lies your monkey mind's been telling you. Your life is purely made of God's glory, and that's your real life story. Come on, Jarson. So embrace, transform, choose to believe. You made the best time while you were here. You can change your story. There's nothing that went wrong. Grew from every lesson. You know it made you strong. Don't believe the lies your monkey mind's been telling you. Your life is purely made of God's glory. Don't believe the lies your monkey mind's been telling you. Your life is purely made of God's glory, and that's your real life story. That's your real life story.
Awesome. Very good. I love it.
Thank you.
So we're going to open up today's talk with a spiritual mind treatment, our word for affirmative prayer. And so right here, right now, in this moment, it's a glorious, wonderful, beautiful day. A holy day. A day that God, Source, have made. And we simply rejoice and we become glad inside of this day, preparing ourselves for this beautiful and wonderful message, however it shows up, knowing that there is never a mistake, never something wrong. That source and supply is always orchestrating, is always working out, is always maneuvering dynamically for the highest and best for all regard. And as we bring this year to a close, this being the last Sunday service of the year 2020, we be in the presence of completion for what is so that we rebirth ourselves into a space of creation and who we are as co-creators. I'm so grateful for the opportunity to be here today with you all online, with Kim, with Joe, with Mike behind the camera. It is good. It is good and very good. And I let the foundation of that blessing and that gratitude spread and do its work. And I leave it. I let it be so. Turn it over to that law that just simply says yes to everything spoken to it. It is done. We let go now. We let God, and so it is. So welcome. Welcome, welcome. So today's going to be a little interactive. See how my voice went? Ugh. All right, so a little interactive. So if you have a pen and a piece of paper, be great, go get it. If you do not have that, if you're driving, just remember this is rebroadcast. You can do this at another time, later on this afternoon. But if you do have the ability to sit down and take a note here and there, awesome, good, I encourage it. And you can also use the chat. So if there's something that comes up for you, you want to chat about it and share it with everybody who's online, we completely invite you to do that. And we also read all of those messages and we interact too, whether it's myself, Reverend Frankie, or Mike, or even Kim or Joe. They might hop in too and share something and interact with you at some point. So today we're going to be talking about 2020. I want you to remember for a moment what it was like New Year's Eve, right? Going in to 2020. The beginning of the year, we create. This is a time of rejuvenation and creation and resolution, and these are the times when we look at things that, habit forms that we've had over the past year, and then maybe want to create something new. We call them New Year's Eve resolutions, and we know that it's through the study of psychology that many of these resolutions, like somewhere around 90% of them, fail anyway by the time June rolls around. So they only last about 6 months. But I want you to just be present. I want you to be present to what you were creating in 2020. Right at the very beginning, before the world decided to shift and give us the show of events that have happened this year. What was being created? You may have declared brand new ways of being for your body, your health and well-being. Maybe you said, this is the year, I'm going to be losing all that weight and I'm going to get into a different dress size or a different pair of jeans, or maybe you're going to, spark up some excitement in your career and get a raise, or maybe expand the love that you already had in your life with your spouse or significant partner, or something else, maybe freedom. Maybe the feeling of more freedom in your life, and you plotted out, and you maybe planned, and maybe you created a schedule and a timeline and created habits and milestones that you've reached over throughout the year. And then March 2020 happened, and it seemingly the entire planet decided to shut down in light of this whole COVID-19 virus outbreak that occurred, this pandemic that is worldwide. And life as we knew it, for some of us, completely altered, completely shifted. Everything we knew to be, everything that we thought we loved and we cherished, and all these things that, connection and bonding and togetherness, and now is just filled with hand washing, masking up, social distancing, self-quarantining, and a life that potentially could be, if depending on how your mindset is, filled with anxiety and fear. And a lot of the events that have occurred throughout the year, whether it be in March or April or May or June, and then the summer, and then all of a sudden again, September, October, November, all of these reported news numbers around what's going on in the world. The economy, the political situation. It seems like 2020, pardon my expression, is a huge S show, a huge shit show, right? It's like a dumpster fire of a year. And so, wow, what happened to all those dreams and resolutions that were created? What got in the way? Did we allow what was occurring out in the world to impact us in such a way that it stopped us from creating what we said we were going to create at the beginning of the year in 2020? Did the environment or the occurring of the world, the conditions of the world, hold you right up and say, no, not right now. You can't do it. There's too much more important things going on. Maybe you got infected. Maybe you caught the virus. Maybe someone in your family passed away. And it's not for us to deny the world the way that it showed up for us. Today's talk is not about denying what actually has happened out in the world, but rather to just simply notice for ourselves how we operated and how we responded. Did we get stopped? Did we get stuck? Did we offer up our power over to something else and allowed ourselves to maybe just go into some type of homeostasis where we were just like, everything is just status quo. Let me not, make any waves here. Or maybe there was maybe some of us said, there's opportunity everywhere. There's an opportunity here. I assert that there are millions of individuals out there that have seized the day on this and have created and flourished during this time. How did you fare? How did we all fare? So I want you to take out that pencil and that pen or whatever it is in that piece of paper. And I want you to think about the things that you created at the beginning of the year, and then the things that you actually created to have maybe those things not be so. The thing that stopped you. What is it that stopped you? Really? What is the thing that truly stopped you? And I want you to just be present for that for a moment. And just write 1, 2, 3 things down. If you don't have a pen or paper, you can just think of them. Just think of them. What did you want to do, but it didn't happen? Did you want to lose the weight? Did you want to find love or create more freedom? Find another job? Maybe you wanted to create a business. Only write down those things that you created that did not happen. If there's things that did happen, then that's awesome. want you to be present to everything that you wanted for yourself in your life and the world. Some of us have more expansive thinking, and they think about the entire world. And they create for the entire world. I want world peace. I want world health. I want water for everyone. I want food for everyone. Like, what is it that you created for the world that you feel did not happen? And after you're done, finish writing that down, I want you to think now. Get really in touch with your heart, your authentic self. Now there's a bridge, there's a gap between the authentic self and the ego self. And allow your authentic self to peer into, to view into the ego self. What did the ego self make all of this mean? The non-attainment of something that you created at the beginning of the year. If you wanted to create a business and it just did not happen, and then you were able to then use the pandemic as an excuse as to why it's not working. What did you make it mean? Find the meaning. How did it make you feel? Did it make you feel like, I'm just too lazy, or I'm not organized, or I'm not strong enough, I don't have enough willpower, I'm not good enough? Maybe it's, I'm too old, or I'm not old enough, or not good looking enough, or whatever it is. What is the meaning? Write those down. Now I want you to think about anything that may have shown up for you this year, whether it's political, in the political spectrum, whether it's the economy, unemployment, the way the world is operating right now during this entire pandemic. And I want you to look at it. Is there any type of resentment? Is there any type of fear, distrust, hopelessness, anger, hate, or judgment? And if there is, just identify what that is. You don't have to take it on or embody the energy of it, but just identify it. And if you want, you can write that down. So, what does all this mean? Why are we doing this exercise? The thing is that we are co-creators. We're co-creators in life. We are a monadic expression of the source itself. Monadic just simply means that we are an individualized piece that collectively we all add up into the source itself, the one mind, the one body, the one heart, the one breath. Each and every single breath that we take is part of the universal source breath that takes breath for itself. Every thought that we have in our mind is part of the divine mind, but we are using our individual mind. And so as we enter into a brand new year, we want to make sure that we allow completion. When I say completion, meaning if we're going to build a brand new house in 2021, we don't want the foundation of the house to be all of the crap that we created or had in our experience of life in 2020. Does that make sense? And so from that place, We want to have a sturdy, a strong, a clean, no cracks foundation. And so from that place, that's where we build the strongest house that we possibly can build. And so if you're ready, I'd like to do a guided meditation with you for the next 5 minutes. And you can close your eyes. If you're driving, do this later. And let's go on a journey together. And so, take a deep breath and just review everything in your mind that we have spoken about here today. The things that maybe were not accomplished. The things that were. The things that got in the way. The things that we allowed to get in the way. Maybe there were conversations that didn't quite happen the way that you wanted them to be. Didn't quite create the connection or the rebonding that you wanted. Or maybe there was that connection. Increased love, increased capacity for compassion and empathy. Maybe, you thought you were going to get a bonus this year and a raise and a promotion, and instead you got laid off. Maybe your health didn't do as well as you designed it to be back in January. Setting out on that journey to lose weight, get fit, flexible, strong, agile, filled with energy, vitality. And maybe that didn't happen. Maybe you're eating more, sitting on the couch, watching Netflix for hours and hours. And that's okay. However it was, for you, for me, for all of us, take a deep breath. And in the letting go and the releasing of the breath, surrender. Surrender all of the power that you may have given over to the couch. Surrender over the power that you may have given over to the news media. Surrender over the power that you may have given the story about what's going on. Surrender over the power of maybe the grief that you've had. Give yourself permission to simply let it go. It's okay that I may have been sad. It's okay that I may have been anxious. It's okay that I lost my job. It's okay that a friend or a loved one may have passed away. It's okay. I'm okay. It's said that we create these year from January to the end of December, but really think about creation. Every single second, every single minute, every single hour, and every single day is a year from that exact time the previous year. So right here, right now, December 27th, 2020, a year ago was December 27th, 2019. So each and every single day is an opportunity to create new, to create fresh, I release, I let go, I let freedom reign supreme. I give all of my co-creative power over to love, over to freedom, over to joy and peace. I declare a renewing. You can say that to yourself. I declare a renewing, a revitalizing inside of my releasing and letting go. I invite all the new and the fresh. Even the things that may have never been thought of before, I invite it all. And even if I get a brand new, invigorating idea that is similar to an idea that I had from the past, like I had last year. Awesome. I call it good. I call it very good. This is my time. This is our time. There is no judgment. There is no fear. There is no hate. There is no anger. It is all gone. We let it go. Let go of anything that no longer serves you. It is the end of 2020, and it is time to let go of what has been in place. It's time to say goodbye and welcome the new doorway, the new threshold that is just within our grasp. This time next week, we will already be in the new year. So for yourself, I want you to say to yourself, I declare 2020 complete. I declare 2020 complete. Amen. And so it is. And now I'm going to turn it back over to Kim and Joe.
We'll see Grandma and Grandpa, such wonderful news. We'll smile again and not faces and the ability to breathe. No more talk about COVID-19. Goodbye, 2020. We won't miss you at all. New Year's coming, let's welcome 2021.
Awesome, that was fantastic, and you'd think like that we organized or something and planned that out.
We're in sync.
It's really great. Well, thank you for being here today. Just want to do a quick reminder on some of the announcements. Bible Wisdom class is still, registration is available for that. It goes from January 13th until March 17th. It is on Wednesdays from 7 to 9 p.m. or Thursdays, 10 a.m. to 12 noon. That's Eastern time. And there's information available. You can go to our website or email us here at cslmorristown.org. And what I like to do is close us out with an affirmative prayer, and then we'll turn it back over to Kim for some more music. And before we go, I just want to wish everyone an awesome year. Thank you so much for being here, being with us for this entire year. It's been fantastic. It's been a journey. We've been able to experiment and trust the universe in all of this technology and being live streamed every week. And so I'm really grateful for that. Okay, so right in this moment, right here, right now, it's a perfect moment. It is the ending of something and the beginning of something new. It is the Alpha and it is the Omega. The endless, eternal source, God, you, me, all of it. Life itself. It is so perfect. There are no mistakes. There was and is and never will be anything wrong. We get to simply observe and notice and create. And so today, as we ventured back into the history of our mind and how 2020 has unfolded, and getting complete with exactly the way that it was, such that there is a brand new foundation, a foundation of clarity, a foundation of rock solidness, a foundation of co-creative power to generate a world that we truly love, and a world that this community loves, and a world that we all love to live, a world that works for everyone. And so inside of declaring 2020 complete, I see the blessing for what it is. I see the opportunity that has been created. I send special words of comfort and compassion for those that were deeply impacted by 2020. And so is from this place of heartfelt gratitude and compassion for what has happened and what has occurred, that I can release it. I can release it and rejoice, knowing that something is being birthed anew. Something brand new is being created, newly, revitalized, rejuvenated, restored, brought back forth onto that strong foundation of creation. So God bless this community, God bless this town, this state, this country, this planet. It is done. And so it is. More music.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Happy New Year, everybody. See you next week.
Happy New Year.
New Year.